Back here at home, President Obama's executive order on illegal immigration facing resistance now on Capitol Hill. The House Judiciary Committee is going to hold a hearing this afternoon to consider the legality of the president's order. Virginia Congressman Bob Goodlatte is the chairman of that committee, and he joins me now. Chairman, good to have you with us this morning.
Martha, good to be with you and your viewers.
So what do you expect to hear this afternoon?
Well, I think we're going to hear from several constitutional scholars about the unconstitutionality of the president's actions. I don't think that will surprise a lot of people because the president himself has been recorded numerous occasions saying that he didn't have the authority to take the actions that he ultimately took. But we're going to get into the details of that, the basis for the president's actions, and why these scholars think that those actions are not constitutional. I happen to agree with them. I think that will help to lay the predicate for further legal action to be taken. But as you know, this is a multi-pronged approach. We're looking at using the power of the purse, we're looking at legislation, and we're looking at litigation. Yeah. And the Senate has additional tools when they come into the majority in January. So we are not going to take this lying down. It may be one of the largest unconstitutional power grabs by any president ever, leaving aside the specifics of the immigration issue, which are very bad. The actual action itself, infringing on the Congress's power, can't go unanswered. All
right. Well, obviously the White House and the president, who was a constitutional law professor, disagree with you on that. And I know that this just sort of coming across a little while ago that one of the aspects that you're going to try to pursue here is that it's unlawful for the president to pick and choose who gets legal status and who doesn't. Tell me a little bit more about that plan.
Well, we are in the process of working on legislation that will be produced and taken up very soon. I'll leave it to the leadership to make the announcement of the specifics, but it would reassert the Congress's authority in this area and make it clear that the House of Representatives does not believe that the president has this authority. And it will also lay the predicate for, since I'm assuming that Senator Harry Reid is not looking to take up this measure. He said he supports the president's actions. A new Senate will be able to join us in this type of measure in the new Congress.
Yeah, so there's a couple ways to get at this for your side, and one is the legality issue of it. And I know that the White House believes they have prosecutorial discretion to basically, extend the process by which they would not bring people in, interrogate them, press charges against them. They would just sort of look the other way and defer that action for a while. And that's the argument under which they are doing this. And I know that you disagree with that. The other way is the power of the purse and to cut off the funding that would be required for this program. Which do you think is going to be the more successful route for you?
Well, I think they're all important, and I think we should pursue all of them. Quite frankly, I think that a challenge in the courts under this will be successful because prosecutorial discretion is intended to give prosecutors discretion with that tough case. But here the president is using the exception to swallow the law. When you give legal status to 5 million people, that simply is not what's intended by the term
Chairman,
prosecutorial discretion. So we need to test that in the courts.
But isn't that essentially what we're doing right now? Prosecutorial discretion, not by decree? Because there are 11 million people here who are most of whom are not being prosecuted for anything. And their argument is that this is going to bring them out of the shadows. It will put them into the process. At least it will, identify them. That's their argument. What's wrong with that?
Well, there's a lot wrong with it. First of all, the Constitution under Article 1 says that all legislative powers reside in a Congress of the United States. And when you have prosecutorial discretion and you can say, I'm not going to enforce a major aspect of this law affecting maybe half the people who are here illegally, what's to stop any president from saying, I'm not going to enforce any law? What's to stop a president from saying, I'm not going to enforce the laws related to capital gains taxes or related to Social Security laws or whatever the case might be? There is a clear division of powers, and it's a very serious constitutional issue regarding separation of powers. That's the purpose of the hearing at 1 o'clock this afternoon.
Before I let you go, I want to get a sense of what you expect to accomplish in the near term before January and before the new members come to Capitol Hill, what you think is possible during that time period, and what you want to wait on and start to do after you've got that majority.
Well, first of all, I think we should begin the process now. We should not wait. So to the extent that we can use the power of the purse successfully now, we should do that, and that is ongoing with the Appropriations Committee. I support those efforts. We should be laying the groundwork for a legal challenge to this, and we should be looking at what we can do legislatively now, even if it can't pass the current Senate. We want to look at things that could pass a new Senate to tie the president's hands and make it clear that the Congress has this authority and the president does not. He's put the cart before the horse, and we need to challenge that.
All right. Interesting argument. Chairman, thank you very much. Good to see you.
Thank you.